Hi, I'm Jim and this is Jim's Fix-It Shop, and today I'm drilling a shift arm handle weldment. That's one of these things. It's on the end of your shift handle and it goes inside of this shift plate. And it has a very powerful spring. I mean, I can't even compress this, not much. And I do have a spring compressor available if you want one. Otherwise, there are a few ways to get them off or to get them compressed, and you have to compress them to get this pin out. Now this is one of mine. I haven't drilled it yet. It has a center hole in it for the spring compressor to go into. So when you turn it to compress the spring, it doesn't walk all over and slip off the end. Now, if yours has a grease fitting in it, there's an adapter that goes on the end of my compressors that captures that grease fitting and keeps it from slipping off. But today we're going to drill and tap one of these and show you how I do it. I've already got the main hole drilled down through here. Now I drill quite deep on here. I go to the full depth of the fluting on the drill bit. Then we gotta drill our cross holes. This bit, I use a 7/32 drill bit for the tap. And next we're gonna buzz over here because we've got it in this vise. I can take this out and put it in, and this is just a cheap little drill press vise I've had for, oh my goodness, I don't even know how long. But it has V's machined into it. One's vertical, one horizontal. So you can put round stuff in there and it'll keep it from moving when you drill it. Just put that in there and you wiggle it around a little bit so it gets seated in that V. And then you can drill this. Now, does this need to be drilled on center? No, it's just a grease fitting. As long as you can drill that hole, and when you drill your cross holes, you need to hit this hole, obviously, so the grease will come out the cross holes. Got this one drilled. We're gonna go over here and finish setting up this tapping head, and we're gonna tap it. Now these little grease fittings have threads on them. Some press in, some screw in. I like the ones that screw in, but they are a 1/4 28 thread. So we're gonna swap out this tap because that's a 1/4 20 tap. And we're gonna get my tap heavy, this is called. It's a water-soluble lubricant, so it cleans up easily and it works very well. Now you don't have to go very deep with this tap because, well, obviously the threads are about maybe 3/16 long, if they're that long. So you don't have to go in here very deep. Now this thing is amazing. I love this tapping head. It does an excellent job. And there it is. Now we just have to put the cross holes in. And that doesn't matter what size you're using. I don't know what size I'm going to use actually. We'll just let's see what I got in here that looks sharp. This set of drills I've had forever. I'm missing a couple. That one looks good to me, and that is a 7/64. You can use any size you want. We'll stick this in here. Oh, first I don't want to do that. Let me tip this down just a hair. I want to put this little gadget in here. Show it up close. It's got a mark on both of these pieces. This one moves. And it's for finding center on a round piece that you're going to work on. Now obviously this does not have to be perfectly centered because all I want to do is hit that hole I just drilled in there. And again, this just fits right in that V. Let me tip this all the way down. This just fits in this V. You kind of wiggle it around, it finds its own center. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see these numbers or not, or these lines. I ran out of travel. Get my head right in your way. I don't look too bad. And we'll just run this fence down. So that I can slide this back and forth and I'll still be on center, I hope. That looks pretty good to me. Now you want to take your time drilling this. You don't want to break a drill. If you break the drill off in there and you can't get it out, it's going to cost you $53 for a new one of these. So you want to be a little bit careful. Now, where do I drill the cross holes? Well, I've got another one here that has not been drilled. Some of the newer machines, or I should say most all the newer machines, are drilled and tapped with a grease fitting. But this one still has the bushings on here. So obviously you want to drill the hole right in the center where them bushings end so it can get out. You don't want the hole under the bushing. I do put some under the bushings so it gets oil or grease under the bushings also. So it'll just, whatever wants to stick, if the bushings stick in the hole, it'll still get grease between the shaft and the bushing. So we just hold this on here, kind of line this up with this one. So I want one hole right here, and I want a hole here, and I want a hole here. Now this is a viewer's part, so hopefully we don't break a drill. I think what I want to do, before I just try to drill that, I want to put a center drill in there. So it'll give me a starting point. Otherwise, the drill is just going to wander. I hope I still don't have enough travel. I'm going to have to crank this table up, which is going to throw off my, how much am I missing? Quite a bit. Let me see if I can find a longer center drill. Okay, I found a longer one. I had a friend of mine that recently retired, and he gave me a lot of his stuff, and I got 2 of these in with the stuff he gave me. This might be a little noisy. All right, now we'll put the drill back in. Yep, should have plenty of travel with that. I don't really want the drill sticking out any farther than it needs to be. And we'll drill one of them on camera and the other 2 off. You want to be careful when the drill breaks through to that center hole, because sometimes it likes to grab, and that's when it's going to break your drill. Okay, there's one through, and I'll be back in a second. And this is the last hole. Now I just gotta clean it out. That sometimes can be a problem. I need to knock these burrs off of here. I gotta grab a file. You can see I got some burrs sticking out on the back side. You got to get them off. And then I will blow this thing out the best I can. And we'll pump some grease in it and see what it looks like. So hang on. Okay, we got this blown out. I use this little, I don't even remember where I got this. It doesn't really have a name on it that I can see. Oh yeah, Taiwan. But it doesn't have a name that I can see. Now it came with replaceable ends. This is just a long skinny tube that I can get down in that hole and get all them chips out. But you pull back on this collar and these ends come off. And it came with all different ends. They're threaded, but yet it locks in here on this groove that they got cut in there with some balls, kind of like an air chuck. So that's what I use to blow it out with. Now we'll put this grease fitting in here. Got a little 5/16 wrench. Now you got to remember, these grease fittings are hollow. So don't reef down on them to tighten them up, because you can snap them in half. Don't ask me how I know that. Now we'll zip over here. Let me just move the whole camera. It's going to be shaky. I got a complaint about that the other day. One of my videos where I was working down on that retaining wall I'm putting in. And they said, boy, you sure can't hold that camera still. Well, the ground I was walking on was pretty uneven. And I was trying to step inside of the forms without stepping on them. And yeah, it was pretty shaky. But hey, keeps you alert, I guess. So now we're going to snap this thing on here. I've got a right angle attachment on my grease gun, and my grease gun is a pistol grip, so you can use it with one hand. And I've got the gun and this grip, or this end, from my local Napa automotive store. It's got a spring on here, and that holds this collar down. So once it snaps on or into the original end, this collar goes down and keeps it from coming out, and it rotates. Really nice little end. Well, let's snap this in here, and we'll see what comes out. Let me move you over here a little closer. Well, we got grease coming out of the first hole. Let's plug that up. Oh, now it's coming out of the second hole. I don't know if I can plug them all up or not. And it's coming out of the third hole. And if there's any more chips in there, they would have come out with this grease. And I don't feel anything. So apparently we got it blown out good. But that's it. It's not that hard to do. I charge $25 to do that, plus shipping, only because if I break a drill in a viewer's part, I gotta go good and buy a new part. And these, like I said, are $53. And if you order the right one for a newer machine, it'll come with that grease fitting. If you order the part for your machine, it's going to come without that grease fitting. So that's it. I can call the viewer up and put it back in his box and ship it out to him. So I've got something I've got to say. I get so many emails every day that when I read them, sometimes I can't answer them right then because I have to look up what I'm trying to explain or how to explain it so they can understand what I'm talking about. And when I go back to try to find them, I got their name, and this guy's name is Tim. I go back and the heading on their email is not their name. So if I can't find it, I try to scroll. The hose keeps hitting me in the head. If I scroll through and try to find him and his name's not there, there's no way I can get a hold of him. And this guy's name is Tim. And I totally lost his email, and he wanted 2 shirts. Tim, I got the shirts. They've been sitting here. It's been a while since you got a hold of me about them. If you see this video, send me your name, address, and zip code, and I will mail you these shirts. I'm sorry it's been so long, but I've been looking and looking. I cannot find your name, so we'll try it this way. Don't put your information in the description below, because everybody can read it. If you email me, I'm the only one that can read it. So good luck, Tim. And until next time, work safe, have fun, and I'll talk to you soon. So long.